Good morning and good evening, um, wherever you are around the world, basically. Uh, so I did this little behind the scenes video. Thought you guys might like to see. The model, her name is Royalty. I'll definitely link her Instagram in the description, or I probably put it in this video. I don't know, but you'll see. We did a little boudoir photo shoot. Shout outs to Mint Room Studios. I'm always using their studios for beautiful portraits. And yeah, um, topics. What can we talk about? A couple of weeks ago or a week ago, there was a Vogue cover that came out that was like all dark skinned women, and it was very dark, and they were wearing all black, and the background was like brown, beigeish, and people were pretty upset with it because the way the post processing was done was like super contrasted and desaturated slightly, so everybody kind of has the same skin tone. Even though they're all dark, some people, when you're dark skinned, you have different skin tones under skin tones, right? So, um, people were not happy about that cover whatsoever. I personally didn't have an issue with it because when you look at the issue and you look at the picture, you can tell it's kind of like a funeral. Now, I know that Vogue has a new editor in chief, who's also has this goal in mind of basically making sure that the old ways kind of die, and to start with the new ways, right? So I feel like the cover was kind of like a funeral, at least from my perspective, right? It looked like a funeral, signifying the death of the old and in with the new, and he had the dark skinned girls in there. So I don't know. I feel like that was the message. I maybe it didn't come across that way. Um, Art is subjective, right? So I don't know. From my perspective, that's just what it seemed like to me. And people were very upset about this cover, and I wasn't. I loved it. I kind of. If you also look at who they hired to be the photographer, that photographer does the same thing for all his portraits when he shoots darker skinned people. It's just his thing. It wasn't like a way to this black woman or any kind of stuff like that. It's just his style. That's his style. Like, he does it with dark skinned men. He does it with dark skinned women. Like, I don't know. I feel like people of this day and age are just looking to be upset about practically anything and everything they can be. I get it. Our predecessors did not really make life better for us in this day and age. I mean, we have soaring inflation. The housing market is ridiculous. At least in Canada, Toronto, Canada, it is, and like everything is just over the top. It's super expensive. Like everything's crazy. So I understand the frustration and the want to be a voice for our generation, but honestly, I don't think that's what a lot of people are trying to do. A lot of people make it seem like they're trying to be this uh like looking for justice. But really, when you look at who they are and sometimes at the things they say, they're not looking for justice. They're just looking to be the loudest voice in the crowd, and sometimes just for retweets and commentary. They just People are so social media hungry. It's so fascinating sometimes. Like you see it, especially with people you might even know. They just resort to this like behavior, and that's just the way they always are. I don't know. I find it quite hilarious because it's just like, why go to the extreme just for social media fame? I get it. Sometimes social media fame can bring you a lot of money and maybe even bring you a lot of notoriety. Maybe improve your life really, but to go the extreme just to get some clout is just, it's so sad. Like, don't you have some semblance of a backbone, or do you feel embarrassed that people know your real life, but you're acting this way? I don't know. That's just me. I see it, and it's just like, why do that to yourself? Why? I don't know. It's I have this conversation with a lot of people, and it just seems like people just want to kind of get famous off the whole social media thing as quickly as possible, to akin to a lot of people who have gotten social media fame as quickly as possible. But let's be real. There are 7 billion of us on this planet, and the amount of celebrities is quite small. It's quite small. The likelihood of you becoming rich is like, I don't know. I don't even know what the number is that to become famous, or an affluent person. It just seems like the chase is just so there. I'm not saying not to reach for your goals. I'm not saying not to chase your dreams. I'm just saying don't lose your integrity trying to do these things. Like, just do them. And if fame and fortune happens to stumble upon you, then stumbles upon you. Like, the more we all chase this fast way of becoming celebrities and very wealthy people, the more that it's just gonna create more crazy people that people, children and stuff, are gonna aspire to look at, to try to be like, and then just creates more and more and more of those type of people. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my thing, because it's the kind of same thing that's happening in the rap game, right? People are not really rapping. To put it slightly, to put it lightly, not really rapping. They're not rapping at all. They're just kind of harmonizing on beats and stuff. But they've seen so many rappers do it, and it worked for them, and they're trying to get out the gutter, so they're kind of doing the same. And it's just how it is. You when you see somebody else do something, and you're trying to get out there into the world, then if it works for you, if it worked for them, it might work for you too, right? You're not really concerned about the art of the whole thing. Well, yeah, I just feel like, to digress, I just feel like people were just mad just to be mad. Somebody wanted to have the hottest take on the cover, and that's what it was, and not to mention, people have to also realize, especially Americans, the world doesn't always revolve around you. From what I know, this Vogue was not even like this. I know that each magazine companies, first of all, have different sections, like different countries, like Vogue Japan or Vogue this or something like that. So I think also, like, when you think about what offends you as a culture in a certain area like North America, it might not affect other people the same way. You get what I'm saying? Like, they might not have that same experience. Those girls, when you see their pictures, and I'm not talking about their photo shoot pictures where the light is hitting them really harshly, or them on vacation where the sun is like hitting them right in the face. If you look at regular everyday pictures of a lot of those girls on that cover, they're all dark. They're pretty much the same color as the cover. All these girls are from like South Sudan and South Sudan. Like, those people are really dark. I don't think a lot of Americans know that there are really dark people living in Africa that really don't have the same experience as you guys. we have to realize that at this point in time, the black experience is not a monolith. That a lot of us have different experiences, especially when it comes to racism or bigotry. We don't all have the same ideas swerving through our head like everybody else does. We all kind of have different experiences when it comes to racism. Like if you go to Ghana right now, right, as a white person, they won't be as hostile to you, right? And yes, Ghanaians were enslaved, slave trade, etc., etc. It happened to us too, right? I mean, shit. A lot of African Americans and Caribbeans are descendants from Ghanaians, but our I guess we didn't have to go through um, we had to go through some form of segregation in a sense and stuff like that. But I feel like the experience that a lot of African Americans had, they deepened it and they took it with them. A lot of Ghanaians, so did we, but I don't know. Like it's hard to explain, but the experience is just different. We don't have the same animosity to white people as African Americans do. And a lot of countries in Africa are kind of the same way. They don't have the same animosity. Um, do we trust white people? No, not saying that. Do we bow down to them? No, or not saying that. But it's just not the same experience all throughout, and I could also be wrong. There might be some Africans who do feel some hostility towards white people. I don't know, but it's like I said, we're not a monolith, right? Once you realize that, it's kind of easier to kind of pivot when you should be upset about something or when you shouldn't be upset about something. You should definitely, you know, kind of figure out if this is really worth your time. But like I said, I don't think that it was really necessarily people were mad about the cover. They just want to be the first person to be mad about the cover so that they can get their little sound bites and screenshots and be posted on like a blog or something, or a news feed or something like that, so people can see how upset everybody was. Sometimes people have very mob mentality, like when it comes to that, and also other things as well. But yeah, that's just my real two piece about that and my thoughts on that. I just feel like people need to really question, like, do you even really want to be all that famous? I mean, a lot of famous people just seem very, very miserable and deal with a lot of like bad press. Like, is that really what you want? Is that really what you think you need? But yeah, man, this photo shoot was great. As you can see, I'm still using the Nikon Z6 II. I have seen that they've recently came out with the Z9. Will I be purchasing it? Depends on my circumstance in terms of money, but as of right now, no, no, not really in the cards for me to purchase this camera. It's pricey. I think here it's $699.99 or some shit like that. With taxes, probably coming to about like $7,000 and change. And with the way my bills are set up and the way my future is set up, I don't think I'm purchasing it right now. Definitely not. I'm gonna focus on getting some more lenses and stuff added to my kit. Like for example, the 105 micro lens from the Nikon line, the S line. That is definitely something I want to get for portraits and also macro shots. trying to do a lot more beauty stuff, like I said, this year. A lot more creative stuff, hopefully. It's hard to find a team and people willing to do it, and we're also still in kind of COVID, so it's it's really not all that great for creatives right now. You kind of gotta work with what you got, but I mean, we always have to work with what we have, right? So yeah, definitely not getting the Z9, but hopefully I'll get something else in the future that they might come out with. Something akin to maybe like the D850, or anything else. Because the Z9 is more like the D4 or something like that. One of the more pro cameras that people would use for like sports or stuff like concerts and stuff like that. Like those things are very powerful cameras. Like you don't necessarily need all that power for that. Plus they're sporting like two XQD cards, and those things are so expensive, man. I don't understand why XQD cards are so expensive, bro. Like we need to find a way to lower the price on those things, man. Because it seems like a lot more camera companies are using XQD cards, and it's like, come on, if we're gonna go XQD cards, can we like find a way to lower the price? Like, Jesus Christ, $200 to like $250 for a card, like, and that's like the lowest like gigabytes you can get. Like, imagine a 1 terabyte XQD card, like you'd be paying like $1,000. Like, why? Why am I paying $1,000 for a card? I don't know, man. These companies, inflation's crazy. People like to jump price a lot of price jumping up in here. But yeah, we are heading to the end of this. It looks like this was the last outfit she wanted to do, and yeah, I mean, it was a great shoot. It was a great shoot. You guys will see the pictures on my Instagram pretty soon, so make sure to follow me. I did start a new Instagram, so people keep asking me why I started a new Instagram. I think I'll go into why I started a new Instagram in the next video that I put up, because that there's a lot of reasons and a lot of things that, boy, I'm gonna have to get off my chest. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off my chest. But you guys can watch the rest of the video. Hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys in the next video. Au revoir.